back to the Super Formula. Of course, we had the Group 3s just a bit earlier. Now we are doing the Super Formula Championship, which is race 6. At the moment, Budge is not here, but I hope he'll show up eventually. I hope that's the case anyway. But until then, we shall wait and find out and just watch over this practice. And so here we are. Hello, well, you've joined incredibly early for the Super Formula. As it stands, I'm on my own, but I'm hoping my co-commentator Budge can join us at some point soon. We got Walter in 4th. Walter's having a good run of form at the moment with Super Formula, grabbing 5th in the last 2 races, and does currently sit 4th in the Drivers' Championship. So, all in all, at the moment, a really strong performance going on for Walter. Gad Gaming's doing well in 5th. He's not really done much in the way of races, so he's going to hope to pick up some points here. We just run our way through the field then that we've got at the moment. We have Knight Donner in the Yorkshire team, who's currently quickest in the practice. Here is Budge now just in time. Only just out of Ruti, who's looking impressive in this early practice session for Infinity Racing. Vitman G, his teammate as well, he's looking pretty strong. Walter as well is a guy, is a person on the form at the moment with a couple of decent... Hello Budge.
Hello there.
I started the stream already. I was just running through who's racing with us tonight.
Okay.
Oh, good. Where were we? Oh yes, Gad Gaming's not really done many of the races, so we'll be looking to try and make an impact. M3 guy as well is someone running around in the midfield. It's a very close battle in the midfield for the Drivers' Championship, and every point matters for these people. Raiden, Drivers' Championship leader, and he's looking good as we head into the final 3 races of the season. He's going to look to try and secure that title. May as well, in the races he's done, he's looked impressive with the podium in Brands Hatch. Can he get back up there again? We've got Wright and Ladd as well, someone who's been there or thereabouts with the podiums, and then there's Hunty in the Red Bull. Anyway, you alright, Budge?
Oh yes. Yeah, looking forward to this one after last week. We've been busy last week, so back on it again.
Yep. Foxy has joined. Okay, I'm not sure why. Foxy isn't actually driving anymore. Racer Tay has replaced him, so I'm a bit unsure, but yeah, sure. Did you catch up on the race last week?
No, not been very well last week, so
okay, no, I just wondered that's all. I mean, Knight Donner won last time, Tay nearly won, but obviously he spun, which took him out the lead, and then on strategy things sort of went wrong for him. So he's going to want to go for redemption here at Monza to try and get that win that he very nearly had last time out. And Vitman G disconnected from the lead of the race, so he'll also be someone wanting to get redemption for it. And the 2 Red Bulls, obviously Gad wasn't in it, but Hunty was. The 2 Red Bulls collided at the start, which wasn't ideal for them. But Walter is a driver on form and has really been looking strong. I think he's had 2 5th place finishes, puts him 4th in the championship at the moment. So an impressive run from him. But like I say, if we just look at the midfield points, it's very close between them. Every point. Foxy is subbing for Sissy. That's what Foxy's doing.
okay.
So that would explain it then. So but yeah, here we are, Monza then, in a very interesting circuit. It's a very high speed track, mostly straights and then some very hard braking zones. So as far as overtaking, most likely going to be into the chicanes at Rettifilio, Del Regia, Ascari and possibly Parabolica, but we'll see where they try to go for it. And I reckon it's going to be a hard race to conserve your overtake on, because with so many straights you're going to want to do it. We could see some interesting battles going on here.
Yeah, I think keeping that overtake in your back pocket till later on in the race is going to be the key to this one. It's going to be very easy to lose quite a lot early on in the early fighting. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see who has what left towards the end of the race.
Yeah. As far as the championship goes, we've got Raiden on first place at the moment, 90 points. He's 11 points clear of Night Donna, who is on 79. 60 points for Right and Lad as he holds out in third. Impressively, Walter is in fourth on 33 points. A bit further back, but still an impressive performance of recent results for him. May is dropped down to 5th behind his teammate on 28 points, and then this is where it gets interesting. We've got Hunty and Rooty both on 24 points, M3 guy on 23 points, Vintman G on 18 points, Ribs on 14 points, and Dracete on 12 points. So he's very close and every point counts here. And it's looking incredibly close in the timings as well, with Dracete being 0.003 ahead of Walter, who is 0.005 ahead of Rooty. So we could be in from a thrilling race here today.
Yeah, looking further down through the order, they're still not that far apart from each other. Obviously, we've got Svetton from third, second off Raiden at front. So it's going to be interesting to see if anyone can actually get close to Raiden again. But usually within half a second.
I think we are good to go for the stunt check. If there's ever a prime punt point of this track, it's got to be the first corner. So we shall have to watch the first corner of this race. We've seen some interesting races produced when the front runners end up not surviving the first corner. So here we go then. I think we are good to go for the stop check to make sure everyone is good. So I shall begin that now. And as far as qualifying goes, it's Monza. There is only realistically one way of doing it if you want to be competitive, and that's slipstreaming.
Yeah, I think that's pretty up to the teammate work out who's going to lead who around the track, halfway around, getting some good times in.
Yeah, see, what I'd be doing is, if I was in this, I'd organise obviously when my teammate decides, one of us goes first and then the other one follows. And you might only get one lap in each, but if you can sort it out and it works, then it could work for you. Here we go then. The lights go green. Who's won the starts here then? It was a decent start from Foxy, I think that was in the background. Someone is not moving off the line. It is Hunty, but he's got going eventually. The first corner, Night Donna has taken Vintman G. Walter has hit someone, everyone has hit someone, and that's about as good as stuck checks goes for us. And that's a very ISRL stuck check for us.
Yeah, there we go.
It's to be expected, really.
Fun. And then Walter catching the back of Raiden into the first corner there. So. Looks like a bit of stuck check.
So another key thing to watch out is going to be the brakes. You need to pick your braking points right here, because with a track like Monza, with such long straights, it's then so hard on the brakes. You miss your braking point, it can be devastating, so you need to make sure you get your brakes right. You can see everyone's gone straight out on track. Not wasting time here.
No, This seems to have gone into petrol or fuel wasting strategy, and Donna keeps the second gear efficient, and then trying to second using that fuel up.
That is something I've noticed Night Donna do quite a lot recently. He's put it in a second gear, accelerate, but have the brake on, just using that fuel. It's a strategy that he keeps doing, and it's working for him. And interestingly, you weren't in the last race, so you won't know why this is so interesting, but Walter is following Wittmann G round a lap, again in qualifying. In the Red Bull ring, Walter followed Wittmann G round for a lap, and Walter started second. So, is this a similar thought process, try and get that slipstream? It worked for Walter last time, but on a track like Monza, surely everyone else is thinking the same thing. Foxy just dropping down the order, Raiden sitting behind Night Donna, so they're both doing the exact same thing. And three guy looks to be sitting behind Raiden. Obviously, Hunty. I think they're all planning on slipstreaming each other in Night Donna, Raiden, and M3 guy, because they're all following each other for now. Raiden's gone for it, Raiden's gone. But it's Wittmann G then that's the first one to start a timed lap here in qualifying. What's it going to be? As he comes through Curva Grande now. I know a corner names for this one, Budge.
Which one are you looking for?
I know pretty much all of them first track.
Oh, excellent.
It's not one of the few tracks I actually know the corner names of. Anyway, here's Wittmann G then into the Lesmos. And it's relatively high speed. You've got to put a lot of faith in the car for these corners if you want to do them quick, especially with these super formula cars. We've got such huge amounts of aero and downforce that they have the turning and stopping ability is brilliant in these things. Here we go then, into the braking zone for Ascari. Looking like a decent lap for Wittmann G so far, no real mistakes.
Raiden's doing well, three guys got themselves caught behind Hunty a little bit.
Oh, someone's gone off, one of the Red Bulls, yep, that's Hunty gone off. Nearly collected his teammate on rejoin there.
Yeah, Night Donna I think will get past.
I don't know.
Behind M3.
Well, he's side by side going into Ascari there, Night Donna and M3. God, they're racing in qualifying, that's not ideal. Rete though on provisional pole at the moment with May 2nd, Wittmann 3rd, and Walter 4th. Foxy goes 5th, where's Ruti? Comes round the final corner now. Ruti did get his first podium in the last race as well at Red Bull Ring, so he'll be looking to try and keep the momentum as he goes 5th ahead of Walter and ahead of Foxy. Night Donna also goes 5th, Gad Gaming. Foxy's gone miles off coming out of Retafilio. Brighton lad down in 11th place. Hunty on the grass a bit there as well. Hunty looks to be struggling a bit to get to grips with the car here. But it is Rete on provisional pole position right now with Raiden in 2nd. It's not like these two are strangers to being on the front row, that's for sure. Not on a slower lap this time. He's pulled over to let M3 go past. He's let Wrighton through as well then. So yeah, I think Night Donna's just preparing himself now. Qualifying, especially in these things, it does require a bit of mental preparation because you need to just map out the track in your head and like, right, this is what I need to do on every single corner if you're going to go for it. Rete in, Walter in, May in. So yeah, I think Night Donna slowing down, ready to go for a qualifying lap on the next one, just burning that fuel up. You don't want to wear the tyres because that would lose time. Walter's out behind Rete here. It's Walter's gone straight on at the first chicane. Here we go. At least he's using the mobile chicane in the middle of it there. In fact, the two WAR cars, Walter and Mace, only near each other on track. Obviously Sissy's not with us, but Foxy is replacing Sissy for this race. Hunty really looks to be struggling. He's not looking at one with the car here today. He's really he just seems to be all over the place, almost as if something's just not right. I don't know what's going on. I'm just watching him now.
Hey, dude. Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, no, just
so it's in like six within a second. Dropping off to another 2 seconds at that game. Monza's just behind that, so we'll be looking to get the last 1 or 2 qualifying laps.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was just looking at Hunty. He does not look comfortable with the car at all. Like on certain corners, he just looks to be wobbling around a lot. Like you can see he's pushing, but he does not look comfortable to be pushing to that extent. Obviously, Hunty's running a Special Pride livery, and I must say it does look really nice. Actually, it works brilliantly well. Brighton lad down in 8th place. He's going surprisingly looking like he was about to make a move into the first corner. I don't think Brighton was going to be improving his time there. But there goes May through. May gets a penalty ahead of Walters. The 2 teammates look to be switching positions round. It's a very plain livery, the WAR car with Walter and May. But as we run now into the final part of qualifying, Raiden is on his out lap. He's definitely going to be wanting to try and go for pole position. Someone who's going to want to defend his pole position will be Reste. He's going to want to try and improve as well. He had a great initial lap. He's not really been able to get close to it. Is this lap going to be enough to improve his time? Maybe help cement him on that pole position. We're about to find out now as he comes up toward the line now, out of Parabolica. To the line, and doesn't improve. 33.5. He's struggling to improve his time. Raiden obviously on his out lap, so he's not going to improve in any way. May doesn't, and Walter does not either. Now slipstreaming off his teammate.
Just watching the guys further down. Foxy, ERT, and 3 guy penalty. When 3 guys takes out 7 second penalty. Coming out of Scary there. It's going to be probably the next bus then, I guess,
Yeah, we are very much getting toward the closing stages of qualifying, meaning anyone on the lap now, don't start a lap soon, you're not going to have a lap. So that means then we've got Raiden and Raced here probably fighting for pole position. Here's Raiden as we watch him through Curva Grande. Is he going to be up in the first sector? We're about to find out. Obviously only can't midway through. Is he up? Yes, he is. Raiden is purple in the first sector. Not sure whether Riste is going to know this, but if he did, that would be a rather panicky sign for him to know, because Raiden is a really quick driver, and if he wants to, he can just switch it on and end up 5 seconds quicker than everyone else, and he's up on his time. Now Riste's at the moment, Riste's gone off coming out of Ascari. I've just switched now to Riste, and he's going sideways, so that's crucial. And Raiden on a flying lap. I don't think Tay's going to get another lap in. Raiden definitely won't get another lap in. Tay might do. Yeah, no, Tay's going to get one final lap in. Raiden will not, I don't think.
No, I don't think Raiden's going to get around there in...
He's got 2 seconds to get to the line. In fact, no, Reste's in, so Tay's not getting a lap in either. Raiden's coming up to the line. Is this pole position? Yes, it is. Raiden has taken pole at the death of things. May is on a flying lap now, and he's getting slipstream off his teammate, I think. Am I right in thinking that? Yes, I am. So the 2 WAR cars are indeed slipstream each other. Well, May's got a bit of a gap now too. Can May get on that front row? He only needs to find 2 tenths. He's up, but it's not by enough. What about Vitman G? What's he doing? He's looking strong, trying to get a 4th place. Ruti, his teammate, on the other end of the track. So there seems to be a lot of teamwork going on here with May and Walter. And it looks to be working then as May tries to get onto that front row of the grid. So I think it was coordinated to follow each other then, because I know Walter was following May and it looked to have been coordinated to do it the same way back again.
Yeah, looks very much like way he's slowing down, just following him now. Interesting to see what we can get, whether we can get very quickly then.
However, May is actually down on his time at the moment. There's Knight Donner parked beside the road, so he's given up on qualifying. He will start 5th as qualifying is over. I should probably put that message in. May has dropped behind Vitman G, so does May improve to get into 3rd. He's running wide out of Parabolica, and is it across the line? It's a tiny margin between it, and it's not enough. Qualifying is over, and it is Raiden that takes pole position from Racer T. They will all now dive into the pits, and they will obviously have to change tyres once I allow that. Once I think everyone has finished. I think Wrighton might be still on the lap, but I'm not sure. Card Gaming. See, I don't know if half of these are still on the lap. Free Guy's not, Hunty's not, Foxy's not, I don't think. Card Gaming crosses the line now, so I think we're good to go then.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, Wrighton's been surfing around corners, so I think his lap's all over.
And then we will see what strategy everyone is going to choose. Obviously, this series has come known for the ridiculously high tyre wear, and that has caused absolute chaos when it comes to the strategic front, because nobody really knows what is the best option. So just change event settings, there we go, and now shall be eliminated. Now they will all... Hello Hunty 2019 GT Sport Fanatic, yeah, Fanatic, that's the word. Welcome. Also on the stream, if anyone's watching, subscribe to him or watch him, because he will be he's streaming his point of view for this race. So if you want to watch a driver's perspective and hear drivers and to compare it to the absolute nonsense that we'll be talking to, then yes, do that. Walter goes straight on through the first chicane. We wait for everyone to get out on track, and then we should be good to go. He needs to go through the first sector, as does Rooty and Foxy. So we should probably expect to see the usual car park at the second chicane. We just wait for a couple of drivers to get there. And we've seen time and time again the different tyres this season. The tyre strategy really have an impact on the race result. It has.
It really does make a difference to the racing, and a couple of weeks ago when we did it last, there was such a difference between them that it was really interesting to look at who was going to come out of bits towards the end and catch back up.
And it was a similar scenario. It was a similar scenario in the Red Bull ring as well, because we saw them. You obviously weren't there, but Tay at the end, after he spun, went onto the hard tyres, tried to make him go to the end, yet he had Mike Donner, Rooty and Wright and Lad all on fresh softs chasing him down, trying to eliminate a 20-second gap, and it was a real nail-biter right down to the final lap. You cannot tell we're going to win that. And hopefully more of the same. We're just waiting for cars. Knight Donner, Racer Tay. Hunty needs to go to Sector 1, as does Rooty. As does M3 guy. They haven't seemed to have gotten the memo.
Two Yorkshire T guys coming out of the pits.
Them to go through the first sector before we start, because otherwise their times will not be done and the grid will be wrong. The M3 guy needs to do it as well. Oh, Hunty is there. We need Rooty to get a move on. Nike's moving as well. M3 guy needs to get going. There's Racer Tay moving up. We need Vitamin G as well to go. Here it is, look, the car park at the second chicane. Every time there's a Monza race, everyone congregates there. And then they do like a donut, and then it turns into like a Tokyo car park where they all just start like... It's basically Tesco's car park after hours.
It is, and yeah. Anybody else is behind.
It's just, I think we are just waiting on Reitel. Yeah, I think at this stage we're just waiting on Reitel and Vitamin G to get through, and we should be good to go for a 21 lap race around Monza. Everyone bar 2 people will score points in this race, and it'll be interesting to see who, and I'm sure this is going to be an absolutely fascinating race. But before we go, let's take a look at the strategy choice and get a glimpse into the mind of what they're all going to decide to do. We've got Raiden starting on the hard tyre, Racer Tay also on the hard tyre, Vitamin G on the mediums, May on the hards. Night Donna's chosen to go on the hards, Ruti on the mediums, Walter hards, Lighton mediums, Gart Gaming mediums, M3 guy hards, Hunty hards, and Foxy is on the hards. So on this occasion, no one's starting on the softs. We had a couple of cars last time, I think it was Nike, Vitman and Rested started on the softs, and it worked for them in the first stint, but in the long run it didn't really work. Then again, Rested spun and Vitman disconnected, so it was a bit difficult to tell whether it was going to work for them or not. Either way, this could be a cracking race. It's time to find out if everyone is ready to go.
I think it'd be interesting to watch Vitamin G at the front there, to keep being on the medium tyres. He's going to be going slightly faster off the lines into the first chicane. Will he go past Racer Tay as he can hold it sensibly behind? Not a chance. What about into the second chicane? It's going to be an interesting one as well. Yeah, keep an eye on him in the first lap and see how he pushes past.
Question is the internet going to work? Well, we're about to find out, because here we go. In 10 seconds, the Italian Grand Prix shall be underway here in the Super Formula Championship. It's been a brilliant season all so far. Will it keep up? Let's watch for that first corner, because it's highly likely there could be a casualty and that not everyone will make it through unscathed. There we go then. It is Yonkshti on the front row alongside Good Smile Racing there, with Raiden and Racer on the front row. Vitman behind on a softer compound of tyre down the top 4. So it'll be interesting to see, as we've seen the softer compound of tyres tend to get a great start, and it's affected the races a couple of times. Will it be the same again? Vitman's going to be hoping for it. Night Donna Shaw is going to try and aim for a podium. The lights come on, and it's lights out. I don't know where it's a great start from Raiden. He's managed to get away. Some bits of wheel spin. Vitman has had an absolutely legendary start, and he's immediately trying to make an attack going into the first corner. Raiden goes to defend against Racer Tay. Vitman's trying to get around the outside. May gets around the outside, and then they go 3 wide going into the chicane. Ruti, I think, has just been pinged off somewhere. May's losing time, and Walter's moved up. Night Donna's gone. Night Donna has absolutely gone, and he's losing a whole lot of position somewhere off the start. I'm not certain what's happened there. There's cones flying about everywhere, and Raiden managed to hold the lead, and here comes May now down into 6th place. Walter's gone up into 4th. Gad, is he going to try and get down the inside? May is now trying to get around the outside. In fact, Raiden sticking his nose down the inside. Hunter's going across, shooting things across the road. There's May off the track as well. Night Donna trying to get around, and they're going 3 wide heading into the Lesmos. What is going on in this race? It's been an absolute nightmare for Nike, who's gone from 5th to 9th. May's trying to keep down the inside. There's been a very mixed start from some people. People like Nike and May just had an absolutely horrific start, and then there was likes of Vitman, who very nearly took the lead.
Got Donna going past M3 guy at the moment. Yes, just pushed past him. He was up on the grass, and it was a bit squirmy for him.
Night Donna is going to be fuming at this rate. He's going to be absolutely on a mission now to try and get himself back into this race. May's on the back of M3 guy. He pulls to the inside into parabolic, and not enough for this. Now then, this is where the slipstream and the overtake button use comes into handy. It's Wright and Lars trying to get down the inside on Walter. Gad Gaming has ended up in 4th place out of all this. It's an incredible start for the Red Bull driver.
race to just going past Raiden into turn 1, this is chicane, so race to is now the race leader.
Race to is now the race leader, but can he hold on? Raiden has not used any easy for overtake, so I think Restin might have used that to try and get past. Vim and G looks to be dropping off a bit, but I'm sure he'll be happy for a podium. Here comes Raiden, he pulls over to the inside going into the second chicane, under braking, hard under brakes, and he's overshot the chicane. Raiden has overshot the chicane, now he has to give the position back to Restin, and he does in the end. He's snaking through, I think M3 guy nearly got into a moment there in the background.
So he got a bit out of shape at the back, those roots, he's pushing coming back up through. Sees maybe his connection's not great back there.
The top 3 have absolutely annihilated the rest of the field right now. They are absolutely running away with it. They are now, he's now 3 seconds ahead of Gad Gaming is Vitman G. There's Reiten on Walter for P5 to try and get a spot inside that top 5. It's crucial points on offer here in a crucial championship fight in the midfield to find out who is the best of the rest. Reiten tries desperately to cause him to Walter and get close enough to make an overtake. We've got Hunty and Knight Donner behind and May behind him. In fact, Reiten pulls to the inside on Walter, but that's not quite enough yet. They are so close, they're all finding their way through, and Hunty goes wide out of turn 2. Hunty wide out of turn 2, that allows Knight Donner to easily slide past. He got a bit wrong coming out of the chicane. That has cost Hunty the position here, and now it's May behind him. May tries to get around the outside of Curva Grande, heading up into the second chicane. May has the inside line. Who's going to break later? It looks like May. May gets down the inside into the second chicane, and the move is done. Hunty loses a position. The top 3 have really closed up. They're all within a second now of Resite, and Resite has got less overtake than the other 2. So this has suddenly become a really close race here between them.
Remember that G on his Legion tyres, they're starting to wear now. So we're looking at closing that gap to Raiden, getting past him maybe on the next straight. Still got all those overtakes to use.
Raiden gets to the outside, tries to go around the outside. That's not quite enough, and it's not enough to get around the outside of Parabolica. It's not impossible to go around the outside there, because you do get the more natural line, and it allows you to get on the speed onto the main straight. And here we go then, they're very close. Raiden goes one way. Are we about to see them go 3 wide? No, not yet. Vitman G now tries to get to the outside, and in fact Vitman tries to get down the inside on Raiden. That's not quite enough yet. Vitman's lost it. Vitman has made an error there coming out of turn 2. He seems to have made a mistake, and that has cost him a lot of time. Walter's back up in a 4th. What's happened to Gad Gaming? Gad Gaming must have made an error, or they've come very close as now Knight Donner charges his way, still charging through the field up to 6th place. Reiten lads now next, and Knight's trying to get down the inside. He's used over half his overtake in 4 laps as Knight Donner. Gad's trying to get through, and he's right across the curb. Knight Reiten's getting a moment across the curb there, and that's lost him a whole lot of positions. But Knight Donner has really been abusing his overtake. He's already got less than half. And Walter is... I was worrying the fact that Gad Gaming and make him close. Here we go then. Knight's still using his overtake. He knows he's not got as much as a lot of other people. In fact, May has also been quite hard on his overtake, but not to the extent of Nike. We could see that come back to bite him later on. Walter is doing an incredible job in 4th. He's really starting to shine in that midfield, and has got 5th in the last couple of races. So it's really been an impressive past few races, and he's really looking to try and continue the form. Meanwhile, Resete is absolutely starting to pull away now. Knight, Redden and Wittmann, neither have used any of their overtake. I wonder if Wittmann's forgotten where his button is again. And Knight spun! Knight has spun! Out of turn 2, Knight spins, and now he's facing the wrong way. And Wrighton's on the grass, and Hunty goes through him. M3 guy goes through him. Thank God for ghosting. Oh, this is really slowly turning into a race from hell from Knight Donner. After a win in Red Bull Ring, he's come to Monza just a week later, and it's literally could not be getting much worse than this. And that is M3. Now it's Hunty with the penalty. Tell you one thing, one team that has come out on top of all this is WAR. Would you look at Walter and May running 4th and 5th?
That's quite close to each other, seconds between them, miles together there. They can start getting their heads together, chatting away.
Oh, May's got a penalty. In the slipstream of Walter. Slightly different livery design, I've just noticed. Because May's nose is all like navy blue black, whereas Walter's nose has got a white stripe across it. That's how we can tell the difference. If it wasn't for a name that was written across it, that would be how we tell the difference between the two. So May getting closer, but it's still not enough. And in fact, Redden is in 3rd. I've just picked up on the fact that Redden is now in P3. Now he must have made an error there, because now Wittmann has got in front and is 1.5 seconds in front. Oh, they're two going side by side. May tries to get around the outside of Walter. Oh, almost contact, but Walter gets the drive, and the positions are done. No team orders on display here. Just don't take each other out, and got to be careful because Gad is approaching and he's behind and he's not going to hold off. He needs these points. And in fact, Hunty's done well to pull himself up into 7th. So the Red Bulls are also in a relatively strong position. Oh, Walter has been overtaken by May now, and with Gad quickly approaching. Here comes Walter to the outside, heading into Parabolica. They're switching positions again, and Walter's through them this time. And it looks like May might just return the favour and overtake him down the main straight again. We've not seen a pit stop as of yet in this race, I don't think. Oh, and we have. Tyres look to be holding on here. And here comes May then on the inside of his teammates, with Gad approaching and on mediums compared to the two hard tyre running WIRs. Is this wise for them to be doing this? Oh, May's had a moment down to turn 2. Walter's now side by side, and it looks like Walter's going down the inside into Curva Grande. This is not a very wise decision for these two to be racing like this. Whilst it's great for us, it's just costing them time to Gad Gaming. And Knight Bonus.
M3 guy there who's right in black coming up past him.
Oh, contact! There's contact and 3 guys off. Knight Donner's also off. Knight Donner really having a disaster, and Knight Donner's just continued on. That was a bit difficult to tell what happened there.
I'll check my replay for that one. Knight's on the inside, right going in. Looks as if another look at that one, different angle. I think M3 guys going into that.
That might be a steward's inquiry after the race about that one, because that was definitely contact. But obviously watching it live, it was not very easy to see that there. Neither Redden nor Wittmann have used their overtake yet. And Reste's still got over 3/4 of it, so he's been quite nice on it compared to his teammate Knight Donner. And Redden is being very nice onto his tyres. Wittmann's tyres, as he goes off the track, a lot of drivers look to be struggling, and he loses the position there. A lot of drivers look to be struggling out of turn 2. Here is Gad Gaming for P6, here's Walter for P5. Red Bull are actually the team in last in the constructors, so they need all the points they can get because it's not turning into a good season for them, and they're going to need to score points, and I think that's what they're doing here in 6th and 7th. It's not like it's got 1-2, but it's still a good points haul as we head in to what is pretty much the final push, because the Red Bulls and I think it's Infinity Racing are very close to each other. And WAR and Sonic, I think, are incredibly close to each other in the championship as well. So there are a number of championship battles that are starting to switch on as we run into these final 3 races now. Raiden in. Raiden is the first driver into pits, as is Vitman G, so they both pit in. Is this an undercut attempt then from Raiden? It could be, because he's just set the fastest lap before he came in. This does put Main to 2nd and Walter into 3rd. Gad Gaming moves now up into 4th and 5th for the 2 Red Bulls. Rootie's in as well. So then, Reste does lead now with a 14-second advantage. Is this an undercut attempt as Nike Donna also pits in? So, possible undercut then. He needs to get, preferably I think within 20 seconds of Resete. He's 27 seconds back. He needs to get within 22, he's out the pit window. So he needs to push now on the fresh medium tyres that he's gone for. So the hards, he got them at 9 laps. Now that's a relatively early stop for someone who started on hards.
Yeah, it does seem to be rather early. They are wearing quite considerably those.
It's interesting because his hards, they weren't looking like they were in any bad position, and I'm just looking for the rest of the field. Everyone else on hards, the tyres are fine, and I remember Raiden's tyres weren't too bad, so I'm genuinely curious as to why he's pitted in so early. Gad is on the mediums and they are absolutely dead, which would explain why Hunty has suddenly massively caught up to the back of him now, because Gad's tyres are absolutely shredded. So the Red Bull chose to split the strategy here. Interesting decision. We'll see which one of them comes out on top. So we see Hunter starting on hards, Gad on the mediums. Most of the other teams have tended to start the same strategy. But interesting decision there. Gad, I'm sure he's going to have to pit in. He is the lead medium tyre runner at the stage, and yep, there he goes into the pit lane. Raiden now moves up into 5th place. In fact, Raiden has absolutely demolished that gap. It's now 23 seconds. It was 27 seconds when he came out of the pits. So on just 1 lap, he's absolutely smashed it. Now, should Tay be worried? Tay should probably start worrying about Raiden, who has managed to decrease that gap by like 5 seconds on that lap alone. Raiden could work an undercut here, so could Vitman, but Vitman's going to have to really put a lot of effort in. Vitman has pitted onto another set of mediums, so Vitman is going to have to pit onto hards or softs at some point in this race, whereas Raiden could now just go mediums to the end. If he doesn't quite get this stint to the end, he's probably going to pit again, possibly onto mediums, but maybe onto softs. It was a very early pit stop from hard stop.
So it's taking a few corners for Raiden to get used to the more oversteery medium tyres on those, cut in a couple of corners, caught a couple of the apex there. Now he's right up behind Hunty.
Nike Donna, less than half race distance, has got under a quarter of his boost left, and he's on soft tyres. I'm really curious to see I really want to know what he's thinking here, because something's not going right, though. He has just gone purple in the middle sector. In fact, just behind, looks to be about going on between Gad, Wrighton and Foxy. They seem quite close to each other on track before each were down into Scary. Nike is trying to chase down M3 guy, and Walter is now up to 3rd with Main 2nd. Raiden is ahead of Hunter. I don't think Hunter chose to put up much of a fight. They're in 2 different races on 2 different strategies. Raiden's got his own problems to focus on, and Hunter was going slow there through the chicane. And Hunter has got his own battles to think about with the 2 WAR cars and his teammates. And next up for Raiden is Walter in the top 3, and Raiden is 22 seconds, so I'd say he's now within, and if he's not within Tay's pit window, he's very close to it. Raiden gets a bit of a moment through the middle of the second chicane. And M3 guy and Naruti are extremely close for 8th place. Here comes Naruti, he's coming down the inside into the second chicane, and M3 guy seemed to back off really early, almost as though he let Naruti through there, which is interesting.
Great trying to go around the outside of Walter, but holding him off, not letting him through there.
Interesting, Walter's deciding not to let Raiden through. So Raiden, I guess this is Walter's statement that he's not going to let him through, and if he wants this 3rd place, he doesn't care if Walter doesn't care if Raiden's fighting for the win. He's going to have to find his way past, which is going to cost Raiden, and it has, because suddenly his progress towards Tay has halted, but Tay has still not pitted, so Tay is not showing any intention to try and cover off an undercut attempt, which I believe is what Raiden was doing. Was a rather ambitious undercut. Raiden comes to the inside, down the inside, under braking into the first corner, and I think Raiden's through. Yes, he's made it into the 3rd place, and Walter drops off to 4th. So where is Vitamin G? Vitamin G 29.5 seconds back from Resite. I don't think Vitamin G is going to really be in contention for a win here.
Raiden's tires, he started on the hards, now he's got the mediums on. I don't think he'll be able to get to the end of the race on the mediums, so I think Raiden's going to have to stop again.
I reckon Resite goes for a 1-stop here. Give it a couple more laps, you might get these get a set of mediums to go like 8 laps to the end. So Raiden on a 2-stop, but I think he might pit softs. We're gonna have to see what Knight Donner can go on, because he started on the hards, I think, and pitted onto softs, and has got the fastest lap of the race. The softs are clearly quicker, but how far can he get these softs to go? In fact, Vitamin G is all over the back of Hunty. Vitamin G comes to the inside of Hunty, and Vitamin G is ahead of Hunty. Relatively easy move for Vitamin G. We're on the back straight, heading into Parabolica. So, Hunty in. Hunty pits in. Obviously, Hunty's, sorry to cut you off there, Hunty's battle with Walter and May, and he's the second of the two Red Bulls pitting. Now, Gad Gaming, his teammate on a different strategy, is pitting onto hards, so I think Gad Gaming might be aiming for a 1-stop, because he's got Ryton all over the back of him. Does he get out ahead of his teammate? No, yes, Gad is ahead of Hunty now. So now Hunty's got to close that gap up to Walter and May if he wants to make an undercut work.
Yeah, I was just looking at Donna's lap time there with 1:31.0, and that is 1.1 seconds faster than Raiden's fastest time on the medium tyres. Yeah, we're looking at softs over medium, it's been about one second difference like that, but I still think Resite's got one more stop to do.
Tays in.
So he's saying, yeah, if he goes on the mediums now.
I'm sure Tim might be able to get the mediums to the end. Raiden, because of an early pit stop, I don't think will, but he'll go on to softs. Vitamin G doesn't have a choice in the matter because he's pitted straight from mediums to mediums, so Vitamin G is going to have to pit in. May is in from second. Raiden, he comes down the main straight now. Where is Tay? Tay's still in the garage, he's filling up as well. Raiden takes the lead of the race. He has remarkably done the undercut well here. And Walter is also in, so 2 WRs are in. Now where are the Red Bulls? Where is Gad Gaming and Hunty? Hunty's in 10th place, Gad Gaming's in 11th. So actually, Hunty's ahead of Gad, and in fact Hunty's on softs. Interesting. Okay. Now then. May is out of the pits in 6th place. Walter is out of the mediums as well. The Red Bulls, this is going to be close. And he's ahead. Walter's definitely ahead. He's behind Ryton and ahead of both Red Bulls. Is Gad going for it into turn 1? No, not yet. So interesting. Hunty's on the soft tyres. Knight Donner has pretty much used all his overtake, whereas Vitamin G has used a tiny bit and Raiden has not used any of it. Vitman G is like tapped it.
Yeah, I was speaking to him the other week. He has. Hopefully he's sorted that out and just forgotten about it this time, because I think he might be needing that later on.
Or maybe it's a master strat to save it right at the end and use it all. See, because Vemanji's pitching in again because he has to, because he's gone straight from mediums to mediums, so I'm assuming he's going on to softs at the end. Redden probably won't get his tyres to the end of the race, purely because he pitted in far too early for that to work. He'll be pitting on to softs. Reste is going to continue on a one-stop, so Redden is going to drop miles, like 20 seconds behind him, and so he's going to have to really push. So on this stint, Redden knows he's going to have to push now, but they're both on mediums, and Tay's mediums are fresher, so the advantage is in Tay's hands.
Yeah, if you're a betting man, you've been putting on race Tay at the moment.
Walter is all over the back of Hunty. In fact, the Red Bull of Hunty has gone ahead of Walter. Obviously, Hunty on the softs were an interesting decision, so Red Bull have really gone on different strategies. Walter using his overtake, Hunty not using his overtake because they're around the outside, obviously not on the corner. Hunty's trying to get down the inside of the brake, and Walter has to hold it around the outside, and Walter loses the position to the Red Bulls, tries to catch back, and in fact now Walter is in a Red Bull sandwich, because now he's got Gad Gaming behind him on hard. All three of these drivers are on the three different compounds, because we've got Hunty on softs, Walter on mediums, and Gad on hard. Obviously Gad started on the mediums, Walter's trying to get around the outside into the second chicane, backs out of that one. With Gad starting on the mediums, chose to go on the hards to try and get to the end. Hunty started on hards, has now gone onto the softs. I can't see him making the end. Walter, I reckon, might have the edge here at the end, but it's difficult to tell right now, and that is the beauty of these races, is you can never predict what's going on. And Redden is in from the lead of the race. This does give Reste the lead, and it's going to give him a gap here as Reste sets the fastest lap. Reste knows exactly what he needs to do. And Vitman G moves into second place. Knight Donna's in again, so he's gone on for like, since lap 8, he's gone on about 7 laps on those softs. Ruti is also in. So yeah, Knight Donna got the softs to last about 7 laps, and so in a couple laps Hunty might have to pit in, and in fact he's already lost the position to Gad and to Walter, so I think Hunty's tyres are starting to fall off already. May is doing an incredible job, however, in 4th. And there is Ruti out just inside the top 10, just scoring a point, but can he continue to move up through the Red Bulls and Walter? Obviously Red Bull, they have a history of crashing into each other in Grand Prix racing, and we'll hope that doesn't happen again here, but it's looking likely. Here comes Hunty, who comes to the inside, he dives it down the inside into the second chicane. Down the inside goes Hunty, and he makes the move on his teammate. Oh, Hunty gets a bit of a wobble, although coming out of the second chicane. This has gone really close now between the two Red Bull drivers. They, if we remember back to the Spanish race in Catalonia, they were the source of much of the excitement late on in the race, as we saw them go wheel to wheel for position. Vitman G in. Vitman G is now in. This is going to put Redden up into second place. Reste has a 12.6 second gap to Redden. May is now up into third, and I reckon May has a shot at a podium here from like 8th on the grid. However, Vitman G now out on track on soft tyres. He's going to go for it. Redden is on the mediums, so we were wrong thinking Redden was going to get the softs to the end. However, Vitman G is on the soft right, and Lard pits in off the medium tyres, assuming he's going to be going on to the softs at this stage. And now Ruti's trying to get past Hunty. Ruti comes down the inside on Hunty on the straight, and Ruti is through. Although not quite. Hunty's not going to give up. Around the outside, he's going to try and hold that one. And it's not quite enough, running over the marbles, and in fact Hunty has to take a very wide line. He's lost a lot of time, and now his teammate is all over the back of him, trying to get the power down. Here comes Gad Gaming all over the back of him now to try and take that 8th place. So May has done an incredible job, and he's now up into third from like 8th on the grid. The strategy has really worked for him now. Now we've got Ruti very close, and the two Red Bulls are still extremely close to each other.
Yeah, looking for a phone radio.
Oh, May's gone, May's gone! No, May has had a mechanical failure from third on the grid. Absolute disaster, but that's allowed Wittmann to get on the podium, and crucial points have been lost for the WIR team. That is absolutely heartbreaking.
Just front race rating behind him. There's a slight difference on the tyres. It was 12.7, it's now down to 12.3. So this is not quite as it was at the moment.
On lap 17, Tay was only 1/10 slower. On lap 16, Tay was quicker. So it's Raiden needs to be pushing a lot more than what he's doing, because that gap is not coming down. Whereas Wittmann G is actually slower than both of them by about 2 seconds on soft tyres. It was absolutely
catching up with Ruti considerably. That's 0.7 now the gap between them as Ruti gets a bit squirrely coming out of the second chain. Lesmo is getting closer and closer. It's 0.4 as they exit the second Lesmo. That was a good exit by Ruti, who's managed to stretch away and get another 10th. That's back pocket, they should be leading down. Into the last chicane and then into the final roll corner. I think maybe look at Walter getting past Ruti down the start-finish straight.
Yeah, he's dropped a second back though, pretty much. He's still dropping, but with his slipstream. And Ruti has got a softer compound tyre, so Ruti and Walter dropping back. I'm sure Walter's going to go for 5th place, because crucial points are on offer if you get in that position. Meanwhile, Raiden has got that gap down to 9 seconds now. In fact, somewhere, Race Tail lost 3 seconds on that previous lap alone, because that gap now 9 seconds. And Hunty, as expected, has not been able to get his softs to the end. I'm not really sure what the thinking was there, but it's not really working for him.
Marcus, I think, the Race Tail again past there. I think it was possibly that he just had to get
through. Doesn't look to have an issue though with getting through, so all is good for now. Hunty, I'm really not certain what the decision was there to go onto the softs. The softs now make sense, he's like 3 laps from the end. But I reckon he should have gone on mediums, but then again, Wittmann G pitted on soft. How is he managing? He's managing incredibly well. He set a 31.8, which essentially is his quickest lap of the race. Knight Donner has got the fastest lap of 30.2. He's still going for it. He must have pitted off one set of softs onto another, and he's still hoping that a podium is within his grasp, and in fact he's gaining on Wittmann G with no overtake left. I've just realised Knight Donner is pushing to try and catch up to Wittmann G in the final couple of laps.
So down to 2 laps to go. Raiden has now got the gap down to first place to 8 seconds. I think he's going to be. I think that's a bridge too far to do that.
How quickly can Knight Donner catch up to Wittmann? Knight Donner's tyres are considerably more worn than Wittmann's. They are a bit more worn. Ruti has really pulled away from Walter now, and Gad Gaming, well, it had such promise for the Red Bull and WIR teams, and it just all went wrong. I think Hunty, they tried to split the strategy, did Red Bull, and I'm not really sure what they did with Hunty, but that was really not the decision they should have done, to pit him on softs. But then again, he started on hard tyres, did Hunty, didn't he, or did he mediums? No, it was Gad that started on mediums. Hunty started on hard, so Gad has come out on top on this occasion, it seems. Now then, Knight Donner catching up to Wittmann G. Right, he's now 6 seconds. I think it's a bit too much though for Knight to do it.
Yes, race started his final lap. It looks like that one-stop strategy's really worked for him.
I think at this stage, Racetech knows that he has got a huge gap that even Raiden couldn't close up enough. And I think he also knows about what happened last time in Red Bull Ring, where he was leading and he spun early on and it just seemed to cost him the results. So I think he knew this, and I think he's just taking it easy. These last couple of laps, you can see on his times, have just really dropped off. I think he's not pushing anymore. He's just trying to nurse that car home to the final lap, and it's really worked out. That one-stop strategy, it has come out on top, and it seems to be that even on our tyre wear, the one-stop still seems to be the strategy to go for. Then again, they did remodel the tyres, didn't they, in the game, in the last update?
And Racetech might have slightly overfilled as well. Put more fuel in for this because he's only just had his warning light come on. Raiden has had that more than a sort of lap ago.
Yep, and he has done it. He didn't win in Red Bull Ring. He feels morally robbed of it, but he has won here at the Monza, and he wins. Racetech wins for Yorkshire T. Raiden, the championship leader, manages to hold his title lead going into the final 2 rounds, and Vitmanji looks to bring it home in third, rounding out the top 3. Nike Donna, after what started out like a race from hell, he has managed to pull it back to 4th. Ruti has done a great race as well in 5th place. A great performance from the Infinity Racing cars. Walter as well, it looks a lot more promising than this, I'm not going to lie, especially for his teammate May, but unfortunate circumstances beheld. But I'm pretty sure Walter will still take 6th. It was still a decent performance. Red Bull split the strategy, and it turned out Gad came out on top with that one after pitting. I think Gad 1 stopped, or maybe 2 stopped, I'm not sure. Actually, yeah, no, I think Gad might have 1 stopped as well as Tay, and it's proved that the 1 stop was the strategy to go with. I think Walter and Gad and Tay 1 stops, but I'm not certain. Reiten in 8th in the end. Hunte brings it home in 9th. 10th place is M3 guy, and Insis's replacement Foxy, a rather lowly 11th place. Disappointing to be May, but you have to be delighted to be Racetech with that one. So congratulations to Tay, Raiden and Vitmanji, and we shall get your top 3 in for all the interviews. So Bodge, get your questions ready.
Okay, I'll get my pen out.
So, a great race then all around as per usual, and yet again the strategy determines the outcome of the race. We had the top 3, the top 4 even, were on completely different strategies. Nike Donna did take the fastest lap in the end. Hello there, welcome. Hello there. We're going to wait for the other 2 to join us, and then we can get the interviews underway. There's Raiden. Hello. And hello.
Your airplane engine PlayStation 4 is loud today.
It's not, I know.
It was quiet. I was talking.
I know. Anyway, point is, we're here to talk about the race, not the jet engine. Well done to the 3 of you again.
Nice
and I think we'll start with Tay then. So Tay, obviously after what happened at the Red Bull Ring, would you say that winning here was redemption?
Not necessarily big redemption. It's just a win to win, isn't it? Got to take it all in, and just like we took it. I'm happy.
Budge, anything to ask?
I struggled to hear that straight trick, but I suppose with it being the one question for the three of them is the difference in stops that they had. Was it a one stop, two stop, and a three stop? So what's the idea behind that to start with?
I see it's kind of a long tow. So if you can minimise the amount of stops you have, then just kind of stay either out or within tow. So at least as much as possible. Obviously, we were in the 5-4 lead ideally. So the way I saw it initially was the all three of us fighting for that win. But in the end, it came to myself. The idea initially was to minimise stops so I can stay in tow. But obviously, the way it went, we didn't really need it.
Excellent. Yeah, well done, mate. Thank you.
Also, I mean, just something to add. Your first win here in Group 3 was at Monza, and your first win in Super Formula is at Monza. Is there just something with Monza with you?
It's a track I enjoy. Probably also luck in that, but otherwise, no, it's just kind of. I guess I got lucky.
So, Redden.
Yes.
You did you pitted onto the mediums at the end? Was there not a thought that you could have possibly got on the softs to the end of that final stint instead of the mediums?
No, I thought I'd just split the last half of the race between two mediums. I don't know if it was any quicker or not. But yeah.
So, because we were just judging that on the mediums you seemed initially to be struggling to gain on Tay. You were only like a 10th quicker on one lap, and then Tay was like a 10th quicker on the next lap. So I was just thinking, if it was softs, would you reckon you could have closed up on him a lot more on that toward the end?
Yeah, definitely. I just kept making silly errors. So.
Yeah, I think when I was looking at it, it took you guys maybe a lap or more to get used to the different tyres. It's the oversteer of the Legion compared to that much more for these sort of cars than it is with the GR3.
I think when you scale up the tyres, so I did with hard to just gem quite quickly because have it light, you know, going quicker, and obviously soft qualifying, so I think it's a bit of a technical thing finding that rounds, and if you do that, you've got that perfect kind of balance to get used to it, but descending, I think, yeah, it'd be a bit harder, because not sure where you are used to soft concepts, so best strategy.
Yeah, we did see quite a few people going from, let's say, their hard tyres to medium tyres to the soft, and it looked like the oversteering cut at the apex is getting very close to them, throwing them off the balance a little bit there.
I don't think we're all any involved. You might have seen I did at one time where I got a bit of that second penalty. So I don't think it's involved, so I'm just kind of mindful of the loss.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the degradation was bad. The lap of traction should have been really. Take the tyres a bit further than I think we all initially thought. So maybe the one stop was the better way to go, but.
Oh, quick! I think Redden, you might be in contention to wrap the championship up one race early at the next one. So. Is there going to be anything different we notice about you trying to win that championship early, or?
What's the next track?
It's Fuji.
Oh god. Maybe, I don't know. I didn't realise that was the last race.
No, not last two tracks are Fuji and Suzuka.
Oh yeah, should be alright then. Don't sound too overconfident, but I mean, I'll be alright in Suzuka, I think so.
And Wittmann then, well done on the podium, but do you not think you got like incredibly lucky with that podium?
Yeah, probably. I didn't have the best race, and I got the strategy wrong. Plus these guys were epically fast, so even if I hadn't got it right, I don't think I had a chance of winning. Nike got a bit mullered at the beginning, probably would have challenged me for the podium, and also May disconnected, I guess.
Oh yeah, I think so.
So yeah, I got a bit lucky, but I'll take it.
Yeah, I think we had a replay, or I certainly did one bit of them getting very squirrely out of the first chicane. He managed to hold it on the left-hand side of the track there, so he didn't lose an awful lot of time. I think he may have made Wilco squeal a little bit.
I did that twice actually. Lucky there's that little bit of the old track, or the non-chicane version of the track there to save you. Yeah, I made quite a few mistakes, to be honest. Probably didn't practice as much as I should have done, but yeah, podium's not bad. Totally forgot to use my overtake button until
again.
I started pumping one bit again, but I gave it a good go in the last lap. But yeah, it's a fun race.
You know, was there something with that first chicane? Because, I mean, it wasn't just you. We saw people doing it all up and down the field. Everyone started to have a moment coming out of the second corner.
Well, the rear tyres took a bit of a pounding, and yeah, if you weren't careful after a few laps, you catch you out, basically. That's what happens.
Short shifting error that definitely helped. I think a few people might have been revving error there, and that's just going to mix the tyres up, so you have to be a bit more careful with not only throttle but gearing.
Right, well, thank you all. Well done. And
nice one.
Next week is Fuji, so we'll see how that one goes.
Yeah, thanks very much, guys.
Nice one. Cheers, chaps.
Yeah, good race.
Thanks all.
Cheers all.
And the stream are asking for driver of the day. Budge, who would you say?
Controversially, I will give it to Donna, I think, this time.
He did come back quite well.
I guess I was
there were a number of spins as well, so there was quite a few times where he'd actually put himself to 10th, got himself back up to 4th, 5th, span again, back to 10th, back up again. So, yeah, he certainly put his foot down as most overtakes maybe today, so I'm going to give it to Donna.
Yeah, he was determined, I'll give you that. Yeah, no, I can agree with that. So there you go, chat, you can shut up now. Nike Donna is your driver of the day for Monza.
Who would have thought?
So thank you all then for watching the stream. I hope you all enjoyed. If you haven't already, then subscribe, because this is what I do. And we'll see you all next time. Goodbye.
Bye guys.